Hello friends, welcome to JQuery tutorial. In this video, we are going to see how to move elements within the HTML document by using the DOM manipulation functions. In the last video, we added the elements and we learned prependTo, insert before and insert after. We saw how to add element, thereby establishing the parent-child relation. We also saw how to add the newly created element to a sibling to the existing element. In this previous example, we created the elements dynamically and added it to the HTML document. Right? We created anchor using the prependTo and appendTo methods, as well as using the insert before and insert after methods. So these are all the HTML stuff, and we added the anchor in the previous example. That is not shown here because that was done dynamically. So here what you are seeing is the static content, but when document loads, during the document load, we add dynamic content. Right? So the added dynamic contents are anchors. So that's what we did in the previous video. It is also possible to move the existing element from one location to other location in the HTML document. Let's say from the web server you are getting the HTML document. Once the document is reached your client or your browser, you want to run some JavaScript code. We can say a jQuery enabled JavaScript code, and you want to analyze the existing document, and then you want to rearrange some of the HTML elements by taking it from one location and moving it to other location. Simply stating, you are arranging the document in a more readable way by reading the existing content and moving the content on a different portion. So that's what here we are talking about. It is also possible to move existing element from one location to other location in the HTML document. First, we will add some static HTML elements to experiment moving the HTML element. We introduce one more paragraph within the table cell to denote fruit type. If you see, this is our TD, right? In the TD, we already have a paragraph, right? And we use the class attribute description to identify that paragraph. And now we are introducing one more paragraph. So class TOC apple. Likewise, there will be 4 elements we will be adding. Right? Because in the previous example, you saw that there are 4 paragraphs, right? Before starting each paragraph, we want to have one more paragraph. Let's assume that from web server, the document is coming like this. We have table and there is a table row. Table row contains 2 table data cells. One is for paragraph and another one is for image description. And in the first cell, now we are having one more paragraph that tells a short description about a short description as well as a title for the paragraph. And it runs as paragraph class equal to TOC. Class equal to TOC, like that the paragraph is, the document is coming to you from web server. We will assume like that. That's why here we are making that change to understand it. This new paragraph acts as move source. All right. So what we are going to do is we will collect all these paragraphs. Let's assume that this is coming from the web server and we are parsing the document on the client browser, and we pick all the paragraphs that comes with the class attribute TOC, and we will use this as the move source. That means we are going to move this from this location. Then we add a div tag placeholder in the top, which acts as a move target. Right? Let's state that this is our newly created content. Here we have a TOC. Right, here we are having it as a static content. Now you know how to add element dynamically, right? You can make use of the insert after sibling method. You can create this dynamically and you can add it here. The same way you can create these two also and add dynamically, but for simplicity reason here we are keeping this as a static content. Right, so then we add div tag placeholder in the tab, which acts as a move target. Right, so this will be our destination. That means we connect all these source and we will place this here in the table of content in the top. We are not doing the copy, we are moving it. That means the element will be removed here and it will be placed. The goal is to form table of content in the top of the document. So that's what we are going to do. And we have the h3 that states table of content. Then we have the div tag. And from here, we are collecting the existing element and we are going to place that inside this div tag. Now let's make this change and run it before writing the JQuery. First we will make this change, then we will run the JQuery, or we will write the JQuery afterwards. Here we created a copy 021 DOM manipulate.html. So here we will be placing the div tag. That is the first modification. This we can add dynamically also using the here we can use the insert after method, right? Insert after h1 we can take and we can take that as a reference and add h3. Then we can take h3 and add this div tag at runtime, right? But here we added it statically. Next we need to add a title for each paragraph. And if you see, we have new paragraph and class attribute we marked it as a TOC. Right? So that's all. Our HTML is ready. Now if you run now, if you see, we are inserting the hyperlink reference, right? TDP, that means it will insert 8 element. We will run and we will make that correction. So go to start. If you see, it is coming after this paragraph as well as the second paragraph. So we can eliminate that by making use of TD. I still want to find it. Paragraph, I still want to find it, but paragraph with description attribute. Right? paragraph containing the attribute DESC. So find this, then insert after that the reference, hyperlink reference. Now we will run this again, and if you see now Apple, then description is coming, and after that the go to start is coming. So we set italic font style for the newly added paragraph. So that means here we create a new CSS rule, paragraph containing the class attribute TOC, set this style, font style is italic, and set the font size as 14 pixel. So that's the style we are giving. For the div tag, which will act as a table of content, we set grid style along with the other property. If you see div table of content display, we are stating it as grid. Then we set the font family, font size, font style, and the color we are giving it as blue. This is foreground, and background we are giving it as light sky blue, right? And this style rule we are applying it to the div that contains the class attribute table of content. We have a separate course for CSS, you can go through it. But here, if you see, we are creating the selection rule for div element that contains the class attribute table of content. Then paragraph that contains class attribute TOC. So these are all the styles we are giving, right? So that's the CSS part. In the jQuery part, we pick all the paragraph element with the class attribute TOC. There are 4 in our example, right? We are picking all those, and for that we write our 4th code snippet, and we are assuming that you are browsing and the document is coming from the web server. Right? From web server you are picking the document, it is coming here, and when you are rendering that in the browser on the document ready, you are running some scripts, right, using the jQuery, right? And in that document ready, we are doing the document parsing, and we are collecting all the paragraph that contains the class attribute TOC, right? Because we want to move all those stuff to the table of content in the top of the document. So that's the manipulation we are doing. Document is received as it is from the web server. Then we are making the manipulation to adjust the document before rendering that document to the user. We want to collect all the paragraph with the table of content, and we want to move that to the separate portion in the document for easy readability. In jQuery, we pick all the paragraph element with class attribute TOC. Right? We know that this will give 4 JavaScript objects as an array. The call to prependTo now decides new location for all the collected paragraph. Here, if you see, we collected 4 paragraphs. This is not index number, I'm just giving a number for paragraph. Paragraph 1, paragraph 2, 3, 4. Right? All are the table of content paragraph, or a paragraph that contains the class attribute TOC. There are 4 such, and we are taking that as a JavaScript array. Then we are making call to prependTo method. Right? The new location is our div class placeholder. We already saw that in the previous slide, right? So we collected all the 4 paragraph, and now we are making call to prependTo to correct the hyperlink. We now need more specific selection rule in the code snippet 03. okay, that we already saw. Here in the prependTo, if you see, we are giving div.toc. So now if you want to see what is going on here, first we are collecting all 4 paragraphs with the table of content. So this newly filtered elements will get added to the div tag. Div tag that is marked with TOC, right? So all this table of content stuff will get added to the div. So this correction we already made. We don't need to do this again. Let's go to the demo. So first what we need to do here, we are starting the scripts, right? So before starting the script, here we are adding the style attributes. This is the CSS style, and we are giving a table of content div.toc. So this is div.toc, right? Div containing class attribute TOC, and here we are defining a set of rules for that. The same way for all these paragraph with the TOC, we are setting the italic font, and you can see that here font style italic, and we are giving 14 pixel for the paragraphs content. All right, now let's go to the jQuery side. Since all are ready now, we can try moving the elements during the document load. So here we pick all the paragraph with the TOC and prepending it to the div.toc. So that means all those 4 elements will get added inside this div tag. Now let's run this, and you can see the table of content stuff is moved, and the apple, orange, all those stuffs are not here anymore. So they all got moved to the top part of the document, right? So that's all here. And if you want to inspect the element, and here you can see, so this is our placeholder, right, with a grid style, and you can see all the paragraphs are moved here with the class attribute TOC, right? So just now you saw the demo. Thank you for watching. Bye.